What are the top 7 best Sonic the Hedgehog games I own physically? I own physically. And what are the top 7 worst Sonic games I own physically? And this is, I'm trying not to put my own personal bias in this, but there might be a little bit. But this is the difficult part was finding 7 uh, physical Sonic games that are bad because I love sucking off Sonic. Sonic is my franchise. I adore this franchise with all my heart. So even though yes, there's bad games sometimes. I always love to see the best in the games, and I try to find the bright the bright side of the games. And honestly, most of the time, no matter what the game is, I can find some enjoyment out of it and good stuff about it. I don't think there's truly a horrible Sonic game. Okay, maybe a couple, but there's really not that many, unlike what a lot of people say. So, even though I own Shadow 05, Sonic Heroes, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and so on, those are not included because those are actually really good games. And for the top 7 good Sonic games, like great Sonic games of all time, I promise you, if I owned Sonic Adventure 2 physically, that would be in there, but I don't own it physically right now. Big unfortunate uh thing. But yeah, so let's start off with the worst Sonic games that I own physically. And there, trust me, there's way worse Sonic games, and I'm talking about like the Sonic educational games and probably some of the Java ME mobile games and stuff like that. But I, I I don't own those physically or at all. So here we go. And this is not in order. This is just the 7 that I picked randomly. So Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. This game still has a lot of good aspects to it, but the reason I chose it is because, well, I was out of bad games, but also because you're basically forced to 100% it to, beat the game just because of how many shards, shattered crystals you need to get. That's literally the only reason. But this game's still really, really good. Uh, it just takes forever to beat. Uh, so yeah. Next, Lost World 3DS the 3DS version. I really like the Wii U version. It's not my favorite, but I still like the Wii U version. The 3DS version, I do not like. Yeah, there's some good things about it, obviously, but especially the later half of the game, I don't really like. The levels are so hard, they're confusing, and the controls are already kind of jank and stiff on the Wii U version, but the 3DS version is even more jank and stiff in my opinion. I always struggle with this game, and so this had to be a contender, obviously. And then Sonic Freeriders. Man, if they just didn't force the Connect controls on this. If you don't know, you need to use your whole body to control the game. And obviously, if you have a disability or a health condition, this game is either impossible to play or really hard to play. And so that's already a reason it sucks. But half of the time, your Connect doesn't work a lot of the times. Obviously, it if you get in the proper lighting and you have the proper room to be able to move and jump like that, it's really fun at times, just really exhausting, but it would be so good if you could just remove the Connect. And obviously, fans made a no Connect patch on PC, so technically this game is good, but the retail original, it's not the best, just because you have to use Connect and it's only on 360 and stuff like that. So that's why this is here. But yet again, this is me trying to find the joy in Sonic, and this is still a good game, but for the video, it's here. And then Sonic Forces. Obviously, not the worst Sonic game ever, but it still had to be put in because the levels are so short. The the story takes itself too serious to where it's not serious at all, and it's actually comical and cringe. which is really disappointing. And this game is just kind of a letdown because they hyped it up. They made it sound like Sonic was turning back into his mature storytelling and stuff. And the box art kind of lies. It's really epic box art, but the game is just like eh. It's not a bad game though. There's still so much fun into it, but it's technically a bad Sonic game. And so, like I said, it has to be in here. And then Sonic Spinball. Uh, I don't like Spinball personally. It is so hard. It's not a bad game, but it's so hard. The controls are they're pinball controls on a Genesis. They're something, and I don't know. It's kind even if you're good at the game and you can beat it, it's kind of a short game in my opinion. There's like what, 5 levels, and yeah, that's just it. And most people just consider this a bad game just because of how difficult it is and confusing the level layout is. And then, of course, boom, Rise of Lyric. Who couldn't who could not see this coming? Like, obviously, this game had to be included. The fact it was so rushed, I'd say maybe not as rushed as Sonic 06, but it's really rushed. They did not optimize this well for the Wii U. I mean, half of the time it crashes my Wii U. I can barely play this game because half the time I load it up on my Wii U, it just crashes it before it even loads. And so I'm waiting to afford a PC so I can emulate the game. Uh, no, play it officially. But yeah, um, I don't know. It's just a boring, lazy game. It's still a good game. It's still playable. There's still stuff to do, but it could have been so much more. And I don't know. It's way too simplistic and rushed in a way. And then obviously Sonic 06. Now, I still adore this game. I still love it. The levels are great. The music's fantastic. The story tone is great, but there's stuff in the story that I hate, like Elise. Like if Elise herself is not bad, but the romantic dynamic with Sonic when Amy was right there, it just pisses me off. Thankfully, she's erased from the storyline, but the fact that this game is so rushed and it's not even a completed game. Like it's well known that the retail version is actually like it's either it's a beta of the game. Like they had a more completed version of the game, but they couldn't release it because it kept crashing on hardware, and they had to meet the deadline of releasing it. So yeah, this game's really rushed and buggy and janky, but like I said, I gotta find the best in it, and it's still a great game. I still love it. And obviously, Sonic fans made Sonic Project 06, which completely remade the game, and it's fantastic. But you know, it's still considered a bad Sonic game, so obviously it had to be here because I own it physically. Okay, now for the top 7 best Sonic games that I own physically. Obviously, Sonic 2 had to be here. Like, this is probably one of the best 2D Sonic games out of the classic era, besides for Sonic 3 and Knuckles combined. But I don't own Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles physically separately right now. Obviously, I own them in the collections like Mega Collection and Origins and the Sonic's Genesis collection. But yeah, Sonic 2 is just great. It's Sonic 2. Go play it if you can. It's great. It's a great 2D Sonic game. Although uh, that Metropolitan Zone, Metropolis Zone. I don't remember the name of it, but any Sonic fan that's played this game knows what I'm talking about. The stupid um, grasshopper guys. But this game is still fantastic and amazing, uh, even besides that zone. And then, I mean, Sonic Rush. Like, while it's not my favorite Sonic game, it had to be included because it's Sonic Rush. This game basically invented the boost formula. It introduced Blaze. The story is really good. The concept of like a super fast-paced 2D Sonic game. Like this took 2D Sonic games speed to the next level, and all the levels are great. Although there's some control things that I wish were in the game that aren't. Like I don't remember if I don't think stomping is in the game. I think that's in Sonic Colors DS. But besides for that, this game's just fantastic. It's phenomenal. But it's not my favorite though. But it just had to be added because it's Sonic Rush. And then uh, I I couldn't go without putting Sonic Racing Crossworld. It was either Racing Crossworld, Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, or Sonic Riders One. Like those were the racing game contenders. Like all the other Sonic racing games, besides for the drift games, are amazing, and the mobile ones. Besides for the drift games and the mobile ones, all the other Sonic racing games are amazing. But I think this is probably the best one, in my opinion, just because it kind of takes aspects for the other two and just makes a really good game. And it's Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Like I said again, it just had to be here. I love it. And I know some people might find this controversial, but Sonic Frontiers. Now, this is where my bias came in a little bit. Like I said, if I had Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, unfortunately, Frontiers would be replaced for this. But, even though Sonic Frontiers is one of my favorite Sonic games, but with that, this game is still phenomenal. It helped get Sonic out of his really bad stage, and I mean, it's just fantastic. The open zones are amazing, although, of course, when you get towards the end of the game, it kind of falls apart slightly, but it's still phenomenal. The physics, while, the base physics that you start out with aren't the best, but you can customize your physics and your controls, and if you fart around with them enough, it's really, really awesome. And even if you don't fart around with them, the game's still fantastic and fun. And I don't know, like, I have so much to say about this, but I want to try to keep this video short. It's already getting long. And then Sonic Mania Plus. Now, I do own the normal Sonic Mania physically. If you didn't know, normal Sonic Mania also has a physical version, but I had to do the plus version just instead, just because you don't have to pay extra money, for the plus stuff, because it's included in this for free. Well, not free. You have to buy the game still, but um, it's basically just it's in the disc this time, and it also comes with an art book and stuff if you buy it physically. And it's Sonic Mania, one of the best 2D Sonic classic games ever. Like, not even Superstars topped it. And Superstars is pretty good, even though the bosses aren't the best, and the final boss fight's really hard. But Sonic Mania is perfect. If you want a good 2D Sonic game, I mean, you could play any of them really, but Sonic Mania is probably the best to start, even though it's technically an anniversary game, but that doesn't really matter. And then, um, of course, Sonic Unleashed had to be added, especially the 360 version, because you can play this on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, where it's heavily enhanced and not as laggy. And Xbox Series X, you have widescreen. I think that's also on Xbox One. But yeah, this game is heaven. This Mania and Frontiers are probably my favorite Sonic games ever. Uh, no matter what people say about the Werehog stages, they are fantastic. I don't care, especially if you max out the Werehog. And the day stage is phenomenal. Everything about this game is just phenomenal. And then Sonic X Shadow Generations. Shadow Generations is phenomenal. Sonic Generations on its own, it's phenomenal. I prefer Sonic Generations over Shadow Generations, but they're still fantastic. And, um, you know, this was just the perfect way to re-release Sonic Generations with Shadow Generations included being a whole new game. And if you're on PlayStation, which boo PlayStation right now, but you got the Shadow Dark Beginnings animation, all 3 episodes for free inside of the thing, which I wish they did that for Xbox and Switch as well, but whatever. But yeah, this game is phenomenal. It's great, and yeah, I wish I could go more in detail, but I'm also recording this at night and I'm tired, and I didn't want to record this in the day because I would have forgotten. So yeah, maybe I'll do a video going more in detail, but that's my talking about this.